There are flash floods as well. There are also reports of cloud burst as well. Whatever is this happening, how we can have better flood management?
Whatever we get water during these rainy days, we should store and utilize it according to our own requirement and in a best, scientific manner.
How we can have water storage?
Number of dams one is the Mohammed Dam, which is being constructed across Swat River, and
True.
then Basha Dam, which is also being constructed on Indus River. And similarly, for the agriculture use, we should also adopt scientific methods to have better, usage and output of the water.
Floods is a natural phenomena. So how to control the damage?
I think first thing is regulation. Building codes need to be adopted. There's no building codes. Old buildings, people are living in kacha houses or even 100 years old buildings. So when they collapse, there's a human crisis. There are no regulations for floodplains. There are no regulations in the cities, in the urban areas. So all these regulations if there are regulations, then they need to be implemented.
How many dams have been constructed in Balochistan? Usually we have no information about Balochistan.
Government of Balochistan as well as the federal government are investing, and during the past, I think around 15 years, 500 dams, small dams have been constructed in Balochistan, and some dams in Sindh province as well to save rainwater.
True. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome to program Insight in V News English. Dear viewers, as you are witnessing, Pakistan is going through one of the toughest weather. There have been extraordinary rains in Pakistan due to the climate change. Pakistan received 70% more rains this year with compared to previous years. And due to these heavy and torrential rains, different parts of the country are facing extraordinary trouble, extraordinary difficulty. Scores of lives have been lost. There is flooding in rivers. And when we are talking about flooding in rivers, how to have better management of floods, how floods could be prevented. In the past, what policies were adopted, and in the future, what is the roadmap, what is the current situation, and also keeping in view that in the aftermath of Indian decision to put Indus water treaty in abeyance, how Pakistan is managing the situation in Pakistani rivers, and what is the future roadmap strategy, how Pakistan could have managed floods, and how in the future can manage floods, because flood is a phenomena that almost every country across the world or anywhere in the world is facing. But due to better flood management, floods could be prevented, managed, and loss could also be controlled. To discuss this all, we are fortunate to have with us a very senior water management expert, Chairman of National Flood Commission, Mr. Ather Hameed. Mr. Ather Hameed, very warm welcome to program Insight in V News English. This is what currently you are also watching, reading newspaper, watching on media across Pakistan. There are pictures, there is flooding, right? So there are flash floods as well. There are also reports of cloud burst as well. Whatever is this happening, how we can have better flood management?
Assalamu alaikum ji. Thank you very much for inviting me here at the V News. Actually, the flood is one of the natural hazards. And every year we face here in Pakistan as well as a number of countries in the world also face this kind of, deluge. And government of Pakistan has been investing in this field since its creation, particularly after the floods of 1976. Federal Flood Commission was created. This forum is basically to have a coordinated effort for planning of the flood management infrastructure in Pakistan, and have a coordination at the federal level with all the provinces and all the agencies who are dealing with it. There are a number of agencies who are involved, and the Flood Commission is a forum where all the 4 provinces, irrigation departments of all the 4 provinces, and the NHA, Railway, Pakistan Commission for Indus Waters, and Railway are also member for this, providing information related to the infrastructure which is across the rivers and creating some kind of hurdle. And then we have to manage and provide appropriate river structures to direct water within the river, floodplain. So I think the main issue of nowadays is having extraordinary rains is because of impact of climate change, and because of that we are having freshets at some places, very heavy rains, and at some places it's very normal. And in the few days ago we had a lot of rains in the one of the model villages in Islamabad, and rest of the area was receiving normal rains. So this kind of issues we are facing in case of, otherwise this is the rainy season. We have to receive rains which are good for all our agriculture lands, and we can store water this for our future usage during the dry days. Our rivers are seasonal rivers, so whatever we get water during these rainy days, we should store and utilize it according to our own requirement and in a best scientific manner.
So as you said, this is very important information, and this is very, very important information and a message to the public, to the provincial governments, that this rainwater should be stored. So do we have that storage capacity in Pakistan? This is very good because it is extraordinary rain. This will end. Sometimes certain areas are barren, are facing drought-like situation. That will end this particularly drought situation. So the water storage, how we can have water storage?
I think we have water storages in Pakistan. The mega storages include Mangla Dam and Tarbela Dam. But these are not sufficient to fulfill our requirement. And we should have much more. Government of Pakistan is spending nowadays much on, number of dams. One is the Mohammed Dam, which is being constructed across Swat River, and then Basha Dam, which is also being constructed on Indus River. They both will be having around 8 million acre foot of water storage available by 2030, hopefully. And I think these storages will not only provide additional water, but will also fulfill our requirement, which is being lost because of the settlement of sediment in these 2 major reservoirs. So I think this water storage of water we should have, and the number 2, we should utilize in a consumptive way. We should not waste our these waters in not only for in case of domestic use, and similarly for the agriculture use. We should also adopt scientific methods to have better usage and output of the water.
So there is also one terminology that is use plain regulation, river flood plain regulation. What is this? Do we have that proper regulation, that plains of the rivers, if I'm correct? So there should be some regulation whenever there is flooding in the river. So the plain areas along with the river that is submerged, and ultimately resulting into the massive human loss, sometime property loss, and that is happening currently in many rivers. So do we have proper this flooding plain regulation, the river plain, in other words, we can say?
Yes, I think in Pakistan, we need to have proper regulation for, having these waters regulated in the floodplain, because floodplains are encroached by the agriculture, and also in case of the structures which are constructed across rivers like bridges.
That is without permission.
Yes, those are done without any kind of permission without any kind
Concerning
of authority.
authorities.
There's no authority who regulates this floodplain. So, Federal Flood Commission in 2015 prepared a draft Floodplain Regulation Act and provided to the provinces to have promulgated in their provinces after making necessary amendments. But since then, some provinces have made progress on this, and KP and Punjab government, they have made some regulations, but not to the requirement which we expect, which will require regulation of the floodplain. That is not being done, I think, unless we have proper regulation for, having permission to construct within the floodplain. Although these lands in the floodplain, they are mostly the property of private persons, but they know their value because they have less value, and because of these, recurring floods. So they should manage their use according to the floodplain regulation.
True.
So unless we have, otherwise we will be having, problems, because people construct buildings, and particularly
That we have seen on Sawat River.
Yes, on Sawat
Exactly.
River, they construct, very attractive hotels, and then create
Sawat, River View,
hurdles,
hotel, and
and
this.
So this such kind of activities need to be regulated, so that such kind of unfortunate incidents
May not take
should
place.
not be there.
So within the country, since your institution is a federal level institution, for example, if there is any flooding in any of the river and that goes up to downstream to other provinces, so is Flood Commission alerts the other provinces in case of flooding, because your department is meant for coordination and information?
Yes, we during the flood season, we establish 24/7 our communication cell, who communicates information of river flows and weather forecasts to all the provinces, to all the high-ups in the federal government as well, which is passed through the, federal and provincial authorities to the respective district level authorities.
In advance.
In
exactly.
advance, yes, because they actually, this flood activity, flood management is coordinated at the flood commission level with the assistance of Pakistan meteorological departments, WAPDA, and provincial departments, because all these provide various kind of information. Mostly WAPDA provides river flows, PMD provides most of the time weather forecasts
updates.
and rain forecasts and rain quantities. So quantitative forecasts are accordingly issued to warn people to the respective provinces and agencies, including federal and provincial, AJK and GB as well. So I think the system is, providing required information. The public, need to take it seriously. They should adopt the regulations, and as well as, look at the forecast which is being issued periodically.
That should be followed. That should be followed and read by every citizen.
Right. Yeah, because this is being provided not only now through radio, TV, and also on the websites as well.
So since you're an expert and you're also a water management engineer, in the beginning you said that it's a phenomena everywhere in the world, in the developed countries. Recently we have seen also one of the devastating floods in United States, in the state of Texas. And in other countries, China also faces number of other countries. But in Pakistan, what happens? Because whenever there is flood, there is more damage to the property, to the infrastructure, even to the bridges, and more human losses as well. So, what could be done? What strategy could be adopted? That floods is a natural phenomena. So, how to control the damage?
I think first thing is regulation. Building codes need to be adopted. There's no building codes. Old buildings, people are living in kacha houses or even 100 years old buildings. So when they collapse, there is a human crisis. So, and same is in case of the floodplain. There are no regulations for floodplains. There are no regulations in the cities, in the urban areas. So all these regulations need, if there are regulations, then they need to be implemented. You see, in case of line
Only in that case we can prevent the
yes,
damage.
we can prevent. In case of line ala, it's in front of us every day. You see, there's about 5 times during this season we have, you see, issued alerts to the people, and number of times evacuation activity has been carried out because the people not only are throwing garbage in these urban areas, but also you see construct houses along these drains, then they face
Riverview housing societies and things like that.
Because you know, number of private housing societies, they have encroached river plains because there is no regulation, so they are, you see, encroaching, and then they face problem when there is heavy rain. So the regulations need to be followed. Yes.
So, there have been any strategy or policy that is prepared by your department to the government so that these things could be implemented? I heard that there have been 3 policies, strategies in the past, and the 4th one was approved and prepared. What happened to the latest policy and strategy?
Yes, after creation of Federal Flood Commission, Federal Flood Commission has successfully implemented 3 national flood protection plans. Because preparation of plan and its implementation and monitoring is one of the, you see, activities which have been done by in the past. Now, the 4th National Flood Protection Plan has been prepared and submitted to the federal government, which was approved in 2018 by the Council of Common Interest. However, you know, because of the 18th Amendment, water is a devolved provincial subject. So provinces need to
record approval.
They not only have to, you see, provide financing. 50% financing is to be provided by the provinces and 50% by the federal government. So because of such kind of, you see, new arrangements, governments have not been, you see, able to proceed further on this. There are a number of reasons. One is the, you see, financial crunch.
Why finances are needed in the plan?
Because, you know, in this 4th plan, 375 infrastructure has to be built. And there are also, you see, strengthening of flood telemetry network in Pakistan, for which 457 new telemetry stations have to be established all over Pakistan. Similarly, almost 300 automatic weather stations have to be installed under this 4th National Flood Protection Plan.
Currently, how many telemetry systems are installed?
Currently, 47 stations have been installed since now.
Across Pakistan? On different rivers?
Yes, on different rivers. Mostly are in the upper river reaches to have better, you see, insight of the quantum of flow which come to the downstream. So we need to, you see, strengthen our flood forecasting system, which requires automatic weather stations, telemetry stations, as well as the radars. So this network will provide better forecast in future to have, you see, better management.
It has not been installed, this latest system.
Yes, some systems are there. They are working. PMD has radar at Lahore. They have radar in Sialkot. They have in Mangla Dam as well. But you see, they also they are installing in Multan with the help of Japan government. Same we have planned to install in Quetta and some other places as well. So this there is a system, but that needs to be strengthened.
Strengthened, and it needs money.
Yes,
It
yes,
needs money.
it needs
How
money.
much? Any rough idea how much money is needed?
The fourth plan, which has been put forward to the federal government recently, it is under process for approval. It requires around 850 billion rupees.
850 billion rupees.
Yes, for 10 years.
For 10 years.
Yes. So it depends on, you see, how provinces invest in this. But at least, you see, flood forecasting need to be strengthened. And similarly, the people, they should, you see, follow the instructions given by the authorities when they are issued forecasts. And number 3 is the regulation of floodplains. These
That
are
is
most, yes.
Because you are emphasizing again and again
Yes.
now that flood plains must be regulated.
Regulated.
And with the strict regulation and
yes,
laws.
that will save us.
As you said that within the country there is no problem, you do share information about flooding in the river. But after 22nd April Pahalgam incident, our neighboring country has stopped sharing information, right? So would you kindly update us that in case of non-sharing of information, the rivers that come from the eastern neighboring country, how Flood Commission would be dealing, because suddenly our water is released in Chenab and in Ravi and in other rivers, and that can create flooding. That can, again, as you said, the flood catchment area, plain area, it can cause massive damage to agricultural lands. It can cause massive damage to residential areas. And exactly in 2022 it happened. There was massive floods. Then in 2010 there have been floods in Pakistan. So cooperation from the neighboring countries is extremely important. Please say something.
Yes, I think this is unfortunate that neighboring countries, you see, have stopped cooperation on this issue. However, Government of Pakistan has Pakistan Commission for Indus Waters established as a permanent setup here in Pakistan, and they are managing, you see, information from their own sources and providing required information.
So currently there is no information from India.
I think there is a dedicated forum who can further brief us on this kind of issue. Is a strategic, you see, matter. So
what is the current status of the rivers that comes from neighboring country?
So
is there
far,
any danger?
No, I think so far they are flowing normal. So far we have not been, you see, have not faced any serious threat so far. I think in future, hopefully, I think PCIW, Pakistan Commissioner for Indus Waters, will better manage. I think they are managing there.
Water is the lifeline of the country, of course, and as a water expert, I would like to know from you that whenever there is flooding season or rain season, we waste a lot of water, and that water that go into the waste could be managed, could be stored. So how to sensitize people and policymakers on that, that on one hand, these rains and these floods are trouble, but on the other hand, it's a blessing as well because we get extraordinary water. So how to sensitize policymakers, public, non-governmental NGOs, and so that this water could be managed, could be stored for next 7-8 months?
I think Government of Pakistan and the provinces as well are investing much on water storage. Although there is, you see, it requires much more investment. In spite of that, federal government has managed construction of Mohammed Dam and Basha Dam, and they will provide us relief further to the provinces for you see, in case of agriculture and expansion of agriculture as well. Yes, there is some wastage because we don't have required storage is available here, but some water is needed, you see, for the downstream areas, for mangroves, in the, you see, seaside.
True.
So that also need, you see, some amount of water for rehabilitation and for a proper recharge of fresh water in the salt zone, saltish zone near the seas. But at the same time, we have some water, extra water, which should have been stored. And for that, some extra efforts are being done. Some small dams have been constructed as well in the Balochistan province, in
That I would like
Punjab
to know more,
province.
that how many
Yes.
dams have been constructed in Balochistan?
Yeah.
Usually we have no information about Balochistan.
No, I think the government of Balochistan as well as the federal government are investing, and during the past, I think around 15 years, 500 dams, small dams have been constructed in Balochistan, and some dams in Sindh province as well, to, you see, save rainwater.
True.
And that water is being used not only for the domestic purpose,
For agriculture
for agriculture as well, and for the, you see, animals as well. So I think a number of activities are going on and being done. The most important, I think, one main aspect is missing is the population planning.
Population planning.
Population planning.
How population planning is connected to the flooding? Please put
Yes,
some
I
light.
think when you look on all the aspects which contribute to the development of Pakistan, then you also need to, you see,
Control
plan.
population.
I think planning is much important. Controlling may be something, have some other kind of meaning. I think planning is much more important. When we look at the developed nations,
They have controlled their population.
yes,
You mean
even-
population
yes.
growth.
Yes, in Pakistan, even you see, if we have a family, they plan what to do for tomorrow, what to do in the morning, when will they be. So similar as you see, Pakistan is a society. We live in this, and we need to plan how will we grow in future, how our children will grow in future. This is more
And how many children a family
yes,
can have.
and
Two
how much
or
we can.
three or
Yes,
five or 10.
that is also an important aspect. Just living alive is not, you see,
Alive.
for a life is not
Very
important for a human being.
Very true.
We are human being, and
should
we
be quality
should,
of life,
yes,
exactly.
that quality of life and live life like a human being is much important.
That is called Human Development Index that European countries followed, and fortunately it was a concept of Pakistani economist Dr. Mehboob Haq.
Right, you are right.
Almost more than 35 years ago, he introduced that concept. So how population growth is impacting on this current phenomena that we are witnessing, flash floods and flooding and these all things?
Yes, you know, in the public, you see, in the along the rivers, the population, you see, they because
River
of
plain areas are completely
yes,
occupied.
they are occupying, and similarly in the urban areas there are kachi abadis all along the rivers
Nalas and
and
rivers.
nalas. In Karachi, you see, in Lahore, you can see, in Islamabad, you see, all along these nalas and streams.
That have been
There's-
completely
there are kachi abadis, and there's no rules, there's no regulation, there's no good health,
Pathetic
there's no
living.
good food. So all these need to
Unhygienic
be, yes,
environment.
these need to be considered as well, I think.
What is the future? Finally, we will be seeking your expert comment. What is the future roadmap as far as water management, flood management in Pakistan is concerned? Because every year there will be flooding. Every year, a lot of flood will be going into waste. What is the best roadmap or strategy that Pakistan can cope with? And along with this question, do we study the model of other countries, other developed countries? Do we watch Chinese model? There are a number of countries in Asia Pacific region there are countries in Europe, although they do face floods, but they have better flood management, and including in United States. So question is, do we follow the models of other countries?
Yes, I think number of experts have been visiting China and Australia, and they also visit us, and they observe that what kind of weather is here. We have seasonal rivers. We are not like Europe, because in Europe you can see water in the river throughout the year. In Pakistan, you can see water only during the 3 months. So this is the basic difference. So all the
And no, only during the flooding, then the water goes out of the river as well.
yes, that is why we need to have different kind of strategies than Europe. So that is more important. Right, water management and flood management both need to be done to have better future.
Water management and flood management, if it is done, then we can have better future.
Yes.
This is most important message Mr. Ather Hameed, Chairman National Flood Commission, has given. Better flood management and better water management. If we have proper management, proper strategy, proper plan and policy, and as he said that the last policy which was adopted, policy and plan in 2018 that was adopted, it is still awaiting implementation. It's a call that all provincial governments, federal government, all concerned authorities need to completely implement that last water plan, our flood management plan, our policy. Thank you so much, Mr. Ather Hameed, once again, that despite this extraordinary situation, you have been quite busy in monitoring, evaluating, preparing strategies, inputs, alerts. You spared time and participated in our program. Thank you once again. And dear viewers, till our next program, goodbye and Khuda Hafiz.